go down very well, but various police forces, and actually that was one of the main reasons that the Rotherham grooming gangs exploded in the way it did, don't actually record ethnicity and race. That's a big problem in this country. So I'd be highly unlikely.
Yeah, okay, guys, remember, I did a deep dive for you guys, right? So on a national level, they on purpose don't document ethnicity and religious views for these group sexual crimes, right? But then I read to you last time these deep dives into local areas, because there were multiple local studies that proved beyond reasonable doubt that Muslim Pakistanis are disproportionately responsible for these grooming gangs and rape against children with a huge margin, and the data was not collected on a national level on purpose, and it wasn't even recorded by the police because they feared racism if they recorded that. So the national data in the UK doesn't give you shit information, and they act like, oh, okay, so we can know. But you can know if you look at the multiple studies that goes into a local deep dive in multiple cities in the UK that shows definitely that Muslim Pakistanis are, as a percentage of the population, responsible for this more than anyone else. But also, we have, for crime rates, we have other countries, for example, in Europe, that do collect the data on the demographics and race and religion and stuff like that, that shows that the Muslim population is disproportionately responsible for these crimes with a huge margin from everyone else, which makes you, suspect that UK is not an exception, right? Let me know if that makes sense. Guys, I really want to make sure, like, the responses I'm giving you to these baseless claims are the best responses. Like, if I may say so myself, and I will allow myself to say that. So when I get nerdy when it comes to these numbers, please, like, follow with me, because I need you guys to be good at responding as well when people bring these up. Okay.
Likely that you'd have been able to have that kind of data in the first place. It was announced it was given to the House of Lords by Lord Pearson.
House of Lords.
Sorry, thank you. But by Lord Pearson, but there isn't any evidence. It was then submitted to ministers who rejected it. So I don't think there is any evidence for that claim.
There is evidence, you fucking idiot. There is evidence. I showed it to you guys last show with sources. I read out the sources and everything. Oh, there is no claim because there's no, like, you didn't. It took me so little time to find this information. So fuck you, you fucking bitch. You know, this fucking bitch, she is putting more children in danger. She is responsible for sexual violence against children by covering who's doing it. Oh, thank you. Andrew saying doing great, Armin. Thank you.
Sorry, can I ask you a question?
Of course,
yeah.
Of course he's lying.
If someone, God forbid, raped your daughter
and
then came back to you and said to you, actually, let's talk about ethnicity and religion.
What do you mean, what the fuck? It's a hypothetical. Look at her losing her shit.
Your daughter and then came back to you and said to you, actually, let's talk about...
What do you mean, what the fuck? It's a hypothetical. Stop losing your shit.
Ethnicity and religion and statistics, and not the fact that your child has been raped. How would you feel? How would you feel?
Let her finish her fucking question.
But I'm just
These
saying
are children we're talking about. Children have been raped, and rather than people just focusing on the fact that these children have been raped.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Go fuck yourself, you fucking bitch.
They're talking about
fucking retarded fucking bitch. You know what? I think Piers is. I don't. Guys, let me know what you think. I think this lady is actually genuinely retarded. Okay, with Piers, I think he's being strategic. But either this woman is the greatest actor and she deserves an Oscar, or she's genuinely retarded. Like, I think Piers is like playing, like, is being paid to act retarded, but I think she's actually retarded. I don't know. What do you guys think?
And rather than people just focusing on the fact that these children have been raped, they're talking about Islamophobia, racism, and all of this.
I just think it's too serious.
Let her fucking finish! Let her finish! She's making a good point. You fucking idiots. You talk all the time. The only people who have good points, we don't get to hear them.
Yes.
Using the example that white men rape in this country is like saying, oh my gosh, Nigerians are raping so much in Nigerians. White men...
Oh my God! Oh my God, this woman is a genius. Everything I was trying to say, what a fucking great example. Love her. Guys, she's so effective. Oh God, my God, this lady, everything I wanted to... Oh, I need to go to... Everything I wanted to explain to you guys in like per capita and percentage of population, proportionality, all of that, she just managed to just communicate it with one example in a way that everybody could understand it. She's she's saying, "Oh my God, what?" Yeah, I will go back. Okay, she's saying like saying white men commit more rapes in the UK is like saying like black men commit more rapes in Nigeria. Like you don't fucking say. Look at this. Oh my God, perfect. Love her. Look at this.
Racism,
look at
and
this.
all of this.
Here,
I just think
it's too serious.
Using the example that white men rape in this country is like saying, oh my gosh, Nigerians are raping so much in Nigerians. White men are the majority in this country. So yes, they are going to make up the statistics of men raping.
But when we're talking about...
Shut up. She's making good points. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, hang on. Exactly. He's gonna get like, oh my
grooming
God.
gangs. Yes, it is Asian Muslim men. We're not saying it's all men. We're not...
Shut the fuck up! She's finally somebody is making some good points.
Grooming gangs. Yes, it is Asian Muslim men. We're not saying it's all men. We're not saying it's all men. What I'm trying to say is... But when we're talking about grooming gangs, yes, it is Asian Muslim men.
Yeah, Texas is saying we cannot allow good points, Armin.
We're not saying it's all men. We're not saying it's all men. What I'm trying to say is, if someone raped your daughter, you would not like someone to come to you talking about ethnicity, racism, Islamophobia. You would want someone to have
He is literally just given a statistic making that exact point.
At the end of the day, young girls...
He was talking per capita, you fucking idiots. Oh my God.
Ethnicity, racism, Islamophobia. You would want someone to have
He is literally just given...
Say is, if someone raped your daughter, you would not like someone to come to you talking about ethnicity, racism, Islamophobia. You would want someone to have
He is literally just given a statistic making that exact point.
At the end of the day,
Ava is responding to a statistic.
Young girls are being assaulted. Why are we talking about statistics?
No. Okay, this part I disagree with it. This part I disagree with it. It's important to know if my daughter is raped, and I all of a sudden become motivated because of the experience that I have had, to make sure other young girls don't go through that ever again. I would be very interested in statistics and data to figure out what is the main cause of this happening. So, and ethnicity doesn't matter, okay, unless the ethnic data gives me an indication of what the ideology is, right? Because no ethnicity makes you a bad person, right? But if the ethnicity shows to me that, like, for me, what matters is that they're Muslim, not that they're Pakistani, okay? But if, for example, them being Pakistani shows to me that they're Muslim on average, then I'm interested in the fact that they're Pakistani. And Pakistani is like way more Gurkha Islamic than other places. So the ethnic or the national background, it by itself doesn't tell me anything about them. But if there's a correlation of that to their ideology, and then on top of that, there's evidence that the ideology is responsible for this crime happening, then absolutely not only I'm interested in this data, I'm going to be obsessed with this data. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? you being Pakistani doesn't make you more likely, it doesn't, it's not a, there's a correlative connection, but not a causation. The relationship is correlation, not causation, right? So you being Pakistani doesn't cause you to commit more sex crimes on children proportional to your percentage of the population, but you being Muslim has a causal relationship. You being Pakistani doesn't have a causal relationship, but you being Muslim does have a causal relationship. And you being Pakistani is correlated to you being you being Pakistani is correlated to you being Muslim. See? Did you guys get that? I hope you guys get that, right? So let me make that clear, okay? So there is a correlation between ice cream consumption and the number of people who drown. Then the higher we have an ice cream consumption, the more people drown. Does that mean that ice cream is causing people to drown? No. What is causing people to drown is that when the weather gets hot, when it gets warmer, people swim more, and people swimming more means that people will drown more. And also when it gets hot, people consume more ice cream. So that's why when ice cream consumption goes up, drowning also goes up. So there's a correlation between ice cream consumption and people drowning. But there's no causal relationship. Means ice cream by itself is not causing people to drown, right? So there is a correlation between you being Pakistani and raping children, but there's no causal relationship. Being Pakistani does not cause you to rape children more on a per capita basis, but being Muslim does. Does that make sense? So I'm saying, Armin, why are you rotting your brain with fools like Chunky? Do you not see what I'm doing? I'm using him as a way to teach you these facts. I think I'm actually doing the opposite of rotting your brain. Guys, if that made sense to you, then I did a good job explaining it to you. Makes perfect sense? Yeah, it's the Islam factor. Let me know if that made sense, because I want to know if I was effective at explaining that to you. Let me know in the chat. These are the details that people need to know to be able to make the case against Islam. My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.